Welcome back to Plan Life Right. I'm Kevin Ross here with my co host, Matt Floyd. Today, we are diving into legislative monster, the 3.8 trillion big, beautiful bill, and breaking down how it impacts every generation from Gen Z college students to the boomer retirees.
And it's not just about bridges and broadband. It's about tax credits, energy independence, and yes, surprise deposits for new parents. We're talking money in motion, people.
So imagine this: you bring home a newborn, you open your mailbox, and you find Uncle Sam's $1,000 Trump account waiting for you. That's seed money for your baby's future.
And later, you discover leftover 529 funds can roll tax free into a Roth IRA.
We'll also break down a brand new Social Security tax relief for seniors so retirees could pay zero federal tax on their benefits.
Plus, Elon Musk's scorching hot take. Spoiler, he's got more to say than too much spending.
So stay with us. This episode is your generational roadmap from Gen Z dorm rooms to boomer retirements. So first, let's take a dive into the savings and tax perks that are buried into this bill. And we'll start with the 529 plans.
So, my overfunded college fund could transform into a retirement account?
Yeah, that's right. So here's how the new rule. So once a plan is 15 years old and funds held at least 5 years, you can roll up to $35,000 tax-free into the beneficiary's Roth IRA. So no more use it or lose it.
Yeah, that's a game changer for the Gen Z grads and kind of a safety net for millennials.
Yeah, and remember, K through 12 tuition, the annual limit doubles from 10,000 to 20,000. So now that includes homeschooling and the credentialing costs go with it.
So if Kevin's kid experiments with rocket science in the garage, we're underwriting the electricity bills.
I guess pretty much, sure.
Well, that's real monthly money. That adds up, over time. But Kevin, tell them about the sleeper hit for newborns.
Yeah, so this is what's really cool. So every child born Jan 1, 2025 through December 31, 2028 automatically gets $1,000 into a new Trump account, and it's seeded by the government. It's a custodial savings plan that parents and relatives can add up to $5,000 per year, and it grows tax-free until 18. So it's like a head start on a lifetime savings. And I actually ran some numbers here. So if you've got $1,000 and then you add five and you add five every year till the kid's 18 and it grows at an average rate of 7%. Remember, this is tax deferred growth. That money for an 18-year-old is $185,000.
That's insane.
But wait, there's more. If they don't use it at 18, and pretty much every kid will probably blow it. But at 30, you're at over $400,000, like $415,000, a little bit more than that. And then I ran it out to, well, what happens at 65? Just, the power of compounding.
Exactly,
Nobody even
yeah.
pays attention to that, but you should. So you can't add after 18, right? So you're
Right.
done at 18, no more money, averages 7%. At 65, it's like $4.7 million.
That's insane.
It's
For
crazy.
18 years of investing,
Yeah.
no more pennies into the account, and it's millions.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's ridiculous when you think about that power company. Now, I know it's for people to use, but if maybe you don't need it, or you leverage that against a down payment on the house, so you just have that collateral. But
Yeah, use it to start your own business
Yeah.
without needing to
Think
go
about it.
to get a business loan.
I mean, and nobody's really talking about it, but I think it's unbelievable, remarkable.
They
what that's
definitely
gonna
weren't
do.
talking about it before it was passed, because I just heard about it.
I know.
I heard about it it was like as also mentioned in a news story.
Yeah.
It's like, and also the Trump account. And I had to Google, what the heck is a Trump account?
I can't even believe the White House isn't just like touting that to the.
Yeah, put a billboard at
Yeah.
every intersection about that.
Hopefully, my son and his fiance who's getting married in a couple of months realize this. I will make it a point when I see them on their wedding that for them and all their friends, hey, there's no time like now to go ahead and get after it.
Exactly, and you got a
Yeah.
drop dead delivery date, December 31st, 2028,
That's
then it's
right.
too late
Hopefully,
unless they find a way to kick it down the road a
hopefully
little bit
my
longer.
son, who I like to call Slow Play, Alec, this will light a fire under him a little bit, and I'll get a grandkid quicker than. And if that happens, thank you, Trump, for that. So anyway, of course, the country's going in debt big, but maybe I get a grandkid out of it. So
Yeah, well, we'll have a generation of millionaires paying
Exactly.
taxes, pay it off a lot
there you
faster.
go. There you go. We'll all be dead, but we'll get out of it maybe.
All right, let's paint the picture. You're waiting tables on a double shift, your shoes are squeaking, your back hurts, just pulled in $180 in tips.
Yeah, and now for the first time ever, the federal government isn't taxing those tips as income.
Exactly. You still pay into Social Security and Medicare, but your federal tax bill, it's a lot lighter.
That's right. So let's do the math here. So say you earn $1,500 a month in tips, and you might be saving like $300 or more annually. That's a car payment. That's groceries. That's real.
It's an insurance premium.
There you go.
And it's not just the 20-something slinging lattes. Almost everybody's got a side hustle at
That's
this
right.
point. So we're
Got
talking
to.
Gen Xers. They're trying to piece together income with weekend bartending. You got boomers who are doing brunch shifts to try to stretch that retirement. This is all for them too.
Yeah, and look, it's not flashy. It won't make headlines, but it might keep someone from missing rent this month. And really, that's what matters.
Right. That's huge. So respect to the service warriors. This is your win. You earned it, and now you get to keep more of
There
it.
you go. So let's talk roads. This bill earmarks $110 billion just for fixing roads and bridges. It's the largest investment in surface transportation since Eisenhower's interstate system.
Right. And that includes over 45,000 miles of highways, 10,000, probably more than 10,000 aging bridges, some of which are literally rated structurally deficient. So if you took a bridge on the way to work today,
Yeah, fingers crossed.
this means you.
Yeah, it's not just repairs. Cities are also getting funds to, decongest bottlenecks, rebuild transit hubs, and widen key freight corridors. And for those that live in Tampa, we know about that.
Oh my God, or
Ford
Atlanta.
275 garbage. That's like the worst designed ever of any infrastructure. It's ridiculous. And yeah, I'm from Atlanta, and there's just so many people. I mean,
Right.
they've got 6-7 lanes aside, and on 75 north and 85 north.
Yeah, in Atlanta, if you need to be somewhere Wednesday, you got to leave Monday night.
Exactly. You got a time, and it's all about if you're flying into Atlanta and you got a business meeting, you better fly in at like 10 and make that business meeting at noon. And then when you're leaving, you want to leave and get to the airport by 3. Otherwise, if you got an 8 or 5, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, you're not getting
You're
there.
just stuck.
Yeah, that infrastructure spending, that's huge for Gen X parents,
Yeah.
doing the daily school run.
Right.
But it's more than that. It also keeps trucks and supply chains flowing for everybody. Trucks are sitting less in traffic. They're wasting less gas. Trucking companies are paying fewer hours. That translates downstream to lower prices at the store.
That's exactly right. And for the boomers, this means safer roads for travel. So there's less worry when you're hauling an RV down I-75.
Yeah, I saw one of those catch on fire about 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah. Scary.
Plus, $39 billion is going into modernizing public transit. New buses, expanded lines, ADA upgrades. I heard a lot of the new buses are going to be running on liquefied natural gas. So
Right.
they're not even running on diesel like they used to. So it's not going to hit us at the pump.
Yeah. And, a lot of these systems haven't seen major updates since the 80s. So this really could transform some commute times, especially in those metro suburbs.
Yeah. I mean, I bet New Orleans is still running some of those same streetcars Louis Armstrong rode as a teenager.
Yeah, probably. Probably. And they haven't been cleaned either, right?
Definitely not. Let's shift to water because what's more basic than turning on the tap and trusting it?
Yeah, this bill includes 55 billion to overhaul water infrastructure with a massive push to eliminate lead service lines across the country. That's right. There's still lead in our water.
Yeah,
That's kind of
Detroit and
scary.
Flint, Michigan.
Oh
This is for
boy.
you guys. Pay
Yeah, right.
attention.
Yeah.
I mean, right
All the
now,
rust out.
outside, I mean, including Flint
Yeah.
and Detroit, there's an estimated 9.2 million lead pipes still delivering water
That's
to
scary.
American homes, and that includes schools and daycares.
Yeah, it's a hidden health crisis. Lead exposure in kids causes everything from learning delays to long-term neurological damage.
And the underserved communities are the ones that are hit hardest. This funding helps kind of level that playing field a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. And also want to talk about there's 23 billion that's being directed towards the drinking water upgrades in small towns and tribal areas as well. So places that often, probably always have got left behind in big spending packages, they're getting addressed.
Yeah, if you're not a big source of tax revenue, the state tends to forget
Yeah,
about
they
you.
forget about you.
So whether you're a Gen Z renter or maybe a retiree in a 1970s ranch house, this matters.
Yeah. So let's go on over to into the broadband because they're doing a lot of stuff here, and obviously that's kind of where the future is. So the new frontier internet access, the bill sets aside 65 billion to expand broadband across the country.
And not just any internet, high speed, affordable, reliable broadband internet.
So no more dial up.
No more dial up. Yeah.
Those were the days. About 30 million Americans live in areas without sufficient access. That's 1 in 10. This bill builds the infrastructure to fix that.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking 3,200 miles of new middle mile fiber. That's the stuff that's stretching in the middle of the road. But the subsidies for those last mile connections and support for the internet service and low income households, that's huge.
Yeah. So Gen Z, you finally get a stable Zoom call in your dorm or rural home. Yeah.
And millennials, your side hustle won't die on upload.
So boomers in retirement, telehealth visits go from blurry buffering to crystal clear.
And digital equity is the backbone of economic mobility in the 2020s, and this bill recognizes that.
That's huge.
So let's kind of change it up and let's talk energy. 73 billion is going towards grid modernization, making our power supply more resilient and renewable ready.
Yeah, and it's badly needed. Between the wildfires in the West, the hurricanes in the Gulf, God, we know about that in the Tampa area, right?
Yeah.
The winter blackouts in Texas, the grid isn't built for the 21st century threats.
Right. And this funding helps those utility companies bury those lines where they can't get blown over.
Right.
Deploy smart meters so they're not sending a guy out to walk around and check the meter on the side of your house. And they're building out microgrids that isolate the outages. So if one part of the grid goes down over here, the whole town's not affected.
That's right. And then there's the clean energy transition. So more investment into the wind, solar, battery storage, and the grid infrastructure to support it. So I was a little surprised about that. That must have been
Yeah. And don't forget about the jobs. The Department of Energy estimates this will create hundreds of thousands of skilled labor positions.
And so for the Gen Z apprentice to the Gen X career pivoters, this is long-term, good paying, blue collar opportunities.
Right. I read somewhere recently, I think Mike Rowe was saying it on a podcast, that it's just something like for every 3 to 5 people that are retiring from trades, there's one person going into it.
Yeah, there's a real shortage. And
So, I mean, if you want to be a millionaire, you might want to look into being a power grid lineman. I mean, those guys get a lot of pay.
Yeah.
Scenery's changing. It's a fun job.
Yep, good
Yeah,
pension.
you get hazard pay every time
Yeah,
there's a national emergency.
Exactly. Yeah, get like double or triple overtime, I think is what I was
So
told.
don't look past those blue collar jobs. They're going to be high paying. They might pay more in Wall Street eventually.
Well, that's the thing. I just heard something the other day on the news, and they said, Trump's trying to bring in all the jobs back to America, factories and stuff, which is great, except there's already a shortage of factory workers. So, what are we going to do about that? And I think it starts in the school system, right? You've got to, you, everybody's going, you got to go to college. I think that's actually kind of shifting, especially with all the um, bias that's been coming out and the anti-Semitism that is ingrained in a lot of these universities. I think we may see a pull from that, but I think really in the classrooms, they got to talk about the advantages of having a blue collar job. Because listen, in Florida, you want to be an air conditioning guy,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
then learn the trade, then start your own business, and you're set.
Exactly.
You're making more than the Wall Street guy.
Of course. Yeah. Now, let's talk electric vehicles. This bill includes $7.5 billion to build out a nationwide network of 500,000 EV charging stations. That's 10,000 per state.
Yeah,
And they're not going to put 10,000 of them in Alaska.
or California, because they're already there in California.
They're already there.
But that's the crazy thing. Like, so why is Musk so upset about it when they're putting all the?
I don't know.
I guess because that's bringing in more competition. I don't know, because it
Yeah.
kind of had
Yeah, I
that,
know,
that
right?
thing cornered.
Yeah, they kind of had that falling
maybe
out.
that was really the
Maybe
the
that was
deal
it.
there. So the whole thing here, it's about eliminating range anxiety. That's why I don't have one. It
Same.
makes sense, but I'm not going to go on a trip to North Carolina for family vacation and worry about, oh gosh, I got to charge and it's going to take me 2 hours to charge. So that's, I think, why a lot of people, they're in my boat, where there's the fear of not having electricity. And we're okay on this side a little bit, but anybody that's got an electric car, they'll tell you, oh, it maps it out, which it does.
Right.
But
Does it map out how long is the
like
line?
if you're in California, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's some of the negatives is you come in and now you've got a line and it's 15 to 20 people
Yeah.
deep. It's kind of like the old gas lines when there was a gas shortage. So.
Or last year
Oh,
during
well,
the
yeah, well,
hurricanes.
yeah, for us in the Florida area, every
Yeah, I
time
mean,
there's
we
a
finally-
hurricane, there's a gas line.
Yeah,
so.
we got to experience what it's like to be a Tesla owner in LA who's waiting 45 minutes or an hour
Yeah.
just to plug in. Well, then you got to go wait another 30 minutes or an hour for it
Right.
to charge all the way up.
So I think that'll be good in the long run.
Yeah, that's what's holding me back is the infrastructure is not
yeah,
there.
Yeah, exactly.
But this plan prioritizes those highways, the rural areas, and multifamily units. So, folks in apartments or small towns, they're not going to be left out.
Yeah.
They're including you guys on this one too.
Maybe they'll add it into our office
Yeah, that'd be nice.
here, and that might help me. I'll bring that up. They'll probably want to charge me. So it's
Pun intended.
yeah, right. It's a step towards mass EV adoption, and it creates an ecosystem for jobs, installation, and logistics as well.
Yeah. And you add in some of those EV tax credits, the local incentives, and the switch gets way more appealing for the average driver.
Yeah, it's also look at it like a national security move. So there's less oil dependence, and there's more domestic manufacturing.
Exactly.
Here we go. So let's talk about Elon Musk. I talked a second about it, but let's get a little bit into it. So not everyone's clapping for this bill. Elon Musk called it, and I quote, a disgusting abomination. Said it amounted to debt slavery.
He's never subtle, is he?
No.
Not one to mince words.
No. He does have a point, though. Musk's biggest gripe wasn't just the big price tag. It was the political hypocrisy. Those same lawmakers who screamed about ballooning deficits 5 years ago now just rubber stamped a $3.8 trillion bill.
And while he's out launching rockets, he's asking who's paying for all this in the long run. Is it higher taxes? Is it inflation? Is it reduced growth?
They're all valid concerns, but the counter argument here is we've underinvested in America for decades. If your roof is leaking, you don't skip repairs just because your credit card has a balance.
That's a good point. So this is probably, I guess, more like triage, with future payoffs if we do it right. Safer roads, better job, stronger grid, smarter kids.
Yeah, there you go.
And kids with a head start on investing as well.
Yeah, I think the difference maker here will be the execution. We've written $1 trillion checks before and misfired, so the opportunity here is real. But there's also a risk. I mean, we are talking about the government; they move at best a snail's pace.
Yeah, on a good day.
On a really good day, yeah.
All right, let's shift gears. Here's what you can actually do with all of this information.
So first, check your 529. If your kid's plan is old enough and you've got leftovers, start planning that Roth rollover.
Second, if you or someone you know just had a baby this year, or you're expecting one this year, or maybe in the next few, open that Trump account. Don't wait. That's $1,000 government deposit, and it grows fast with the compounding interest. I mean, you heard Kevin. You max it out for 18 years, the kid's going to be a millionaire.
That's right.
So compound interest and consistent contributions set your kid up to do life right.
And third, rerun your Social Security plan. The new deductions might mean you owe zero in federal taxes on benefits. That could change how you draw income in retirement.
And support your local infrastructure. You know, these federal dollars don't mean a thing if city officials are fumbling the ball.
Right.
Open up your email, pick up the phone, ask your rep what is coming to your zip code, and then hold them to it.
Yeah. And finally, if you work in service, retail, or hospitality, look at your pay stub. The tip deduction could be your quiet raise. So let's wrap this up. Look, whether you're swaddling a newborn with a $1,000 head start, managing student debt with the new Roth options, or navigating retirement with fresh tax relief, this bill isn't abstract. It's really personal.
Right. And for decades, bills like this have talked past middle America. But this one's landing in your driveway, your broadband, your utility bill, and your future.
But money only moves people if they act. And knowing is not the same planning.
Knowing's only half the battle,
Right.
as G.I. Joe says. So don't scroll past this. Don't wait for the headline to explain it to you.
Go to planliferight.com. We've got breakdowns, calculators, and action steps waiting for you.
You've got the map. Now let's build the road. I'm Matt Floyd.
And I'm Kevin Ross, and this is Plan Life Right.